Apple just announced a bunch of new products and devices at their awe-dropping September 9th Apple event. The awe in the name is actually there for a good reason. I'll tell you that later in the video. We got a bunch of massive updates to the AirPods Pro and the entire Apple Watch lineup. Also, we got new iPhones. Let's talk about all of them in detail. Let's jump right in. First off, AirPods. The new AirPods Pro 3 improves upon the AirPods Pro 2 by a lot. The new AirPods Pro 3 adds some new software features like Live Translate, where you can seamlessly talk with someone else in a different language. This is actually a really cool feature. I kinda saw this coming from a mile away as Apple showed it off during WWDC 2025 last June. Live Translate can be started by doing a cupping gesture on the AirPods. From there, Siri will take over by translating the other person's language into your native language. Live Translate can also show a live translation on your iPhone screen so the other person can read what you're trying to say. If both of you are wearing AirPods Pro 3, if the other person is also wearing AirPods Pro 3, then the two of you can have a seamless conversation with each other. The voice you hear translated is Siri's, so it feels familiar. Active noise cancellation on AirPods Pro 3 is twice as better as AirPods Pro 2, which means that you get an amazing noise cancellation experience. The new AirPods Pro 3 actually have completely redesigned the silicone ear tips, so it fits better, as Apple says. Apple also now includes 5 different sets of sizes for the silicone ear tips. Also, all new to the AirPods Pro is heart rate sensors for the first time. This means that now the AirPods Pro can do pretty much what an Apple Watch does. Track your steps, calories burned, all of the workout features that you pretty much get on the Apple Watch. This proves my point because the new fitness app actually looks pretty much like a blown up Apple Watch face with the workout app open. So you can do Apple workouts without wearing an Apple Watch, which is good. It's basically pretty much like an Apple Watch, minus the screen. This is an amazing feature, to be honest, because now all the fitness and workout stuff is more accessible to more people, because AirPods Pro is way cheaper than an Apple Watch, even NSC. And also these are headphones, mics for calls, they have active noise cancellation, transparency mode, hearing aids. This is a really good package for the same price of $250. The battery life on the new AirPods Pro have gotten slightly better, from 6 hours with ANC to almost 8 hours with ANC, which is a modest boost in battery. That's really good battery life for AirPods with ANC. You can pre-order the new AirPods Pro right now and they're gonna ship September 19th. Next up, Apple Watch. All 3 models of the Apple Watch got an update this year, which is surprising. The Apple Watch Series 11, Apple Watch Ultra 3, and Apple Watch SE 3 have all got some incremental updates. First, let's talk about the Apple Watch Series 11. The Series 11 is the one to get the least amount of updates compared to the other Apple Watches, as the updates that we got for the Series 11 is a slightly brighter and slightly more visible screen, that's it. And some new watchOS 26 features which are gonna be available for older Apple Watches too, so it's not considered something new, but the features are high blood pressure monitoring and sleep. With high blood pressure monitoring, it monitors your veins for a potential high blood pressure and it notifies you when it detects so. New with sleep is Sleep Score. Sleep Score takes into consideration a bunch of factors and gives you a score out of 100 after every night. In my opinion, this is actually pretty good. You can kind of get a little bit of motivation to improve your sleep. It's all around a really good feature, and it's also coming to older Apple Watches, Series 6 and above. So yeah, you don't need a new Apple Watch to get that feature. Next up, Apple Watch Ultra 3. With this new Apple Watch, The display is slightly larger, and also you get satellite SOS, which is the main flagship feature of this year's Apple Watch Ultra. With satellite SOS, you can communicate with first responders or emergency services in a place where there isn't that great of a cellular connection or none. Also, the display can go down all the way to 1 Hz. This means that the second hand in certain watch faces may be visible. Other than these two features, the Apple Watch Ultra 3 remains pretty much the same as Ultra 2. We do get some new bands, but who cares about them? The Apple Watch Ultra 3 starts at $799. It's available September 19th. Last but not least, the Apple Watch SE3. In my opinion, the Apple Watch SE3 is the best bang for your buck Apple Watch Apple has ever made pretty much, as it gets 90% of the features that we got on previous series model Apple Watches, like an always-on display, the S10 processor, and all the SOS and health features that we get on older series Apple Watches. Just like the Apple Watch Series 10, you can now play media and music directly through the Apple Watch's built-in speaker, which is great, I guess? You can pre-order the Apple Watch SE3 today, and it's available September 19th. Also, all 3 Apple Watches have 5G now. Anyways, those are the new Apple Watches and AirPods Pros. Let's move on to the main event. iPhone, the real stars of today's event. First, iPhone 17. This year's iPhone 17, I think, is the best value iPhone ever made by Apple. Because Apple gave it a Pro feature, which they never do. The base model iPhone finally gets ProMotion, where the display moves from 120 Hz all the way down to 1 Hz. That also means we get always on display. Yay! The display is also 3000 nits of brightness, which is insane. This will make the iPhone 17 screen more visible in direct sunlight. Apple also for the first time gave it a new anti-glare coating, which makes it even more visible in direct sunlight, as it tries to minimize glare that falls on the iPhone screen. The screen also uses new Ceramic Shield 2 technology, which is just Apple marketing, but which means the screen is slightly more resistant to scratches, and the screen size is also 6.3 inches. Wait, I feel like I've heard these specs and exact size before. Oh yes, that's the same exact screen from an iPhone 16 Pro. Yup, Apple gave the base model iPhones the same display that they gave to the Pro model iPhones last year, which is crazy to think of because Apple normally doesn't do this. The other parts of iPhone 17 are pretty much the same from iPhone 16, including the design, the buttons. Oh yeah, the iPhone 17 still has a camera control button and an action button. So this seems like Apple is innovating finally. Next, the cameras have gotten a modest upgrade on the rear. The ultrawide is now 48 megapixels instead of 12, which makes it more sharper and allows you to capture more higher fidelity photos and videos from the ultrawide camera. You can also get higher quality macro photos due to that higher quality ultrawide camera. The real big change in this year's iPhone camera system is the selfie camera. It went from a 12 megapixel normal camera sensor to an 18 megapixel square sensor, which Apple utilized in the best way possible. They gave the iPhone 17s a whole new software feature called Center Stage Camera. It's pretty much like what you get on the Macs and iPads with their Center Stage camera that follows you around using AI. But on the iPhone, they took it a step further. Due to that square sensor, you can fit like 4 different orientations of photos. So while being in portrait, you can take a landscape photo, which is really good because you have a really good grip on your phone. In my opinion, this camera is really cool, to be honest. It's also a problem that all of us have, risking dropping their phone while taking a landscape selfie. And also at the same time trying to fit a lot of people in. Yeah, been there, done that. Anyway, let's talk about performance. The iPhone 17 uses Apple's new A19 processor, which is around 15 to 20% faster than A18. You have to wait for the reviews to find that out. The A19 has a faster CPU, faster GPU, and faster neural engine, which allows the iPhone 17 to run large language models locally and faster. Apple also put in the Apple C1 chip that they introduced with the iPhone 16e 6 months ago. We also get some new colors on the iPhone 17 which look really good, the lavender especially. iPhone 17 now has double the starting storage at 256 gigs at the same $800 price point. That's why I told you this is the best bang for buck iPhone ever in a while. Skipping order and talking about iPhone 17 Pro first before the main star of today's event. The iPhone 17 Pros have got a modest upgrade to say the least. They have a new 48 megapixel telephoto camera with 4 times optical zoom, which is actually less than the iPhone 16 Pro's 5 times optical zoom, but it's a higher quality sensor, so it can go up to 8 times without losing any detail. The photos from these 17 Pros look amazing, to be honest. The screen is still pretty much the same from last year, minus some thinner bezels, which you can't notice until you have both of them side by side, so I'd give that a pass. The thing I'm kinda sad about is Apple now only has 3 colors: silver, cosmic orange, and deep blue. Cosmic orange is this year's flagship color, and it looks okay, but I miss the gold. Pros. Good. I think Apple is actually pitching their approach with the iPhones. Now the iPhone 17s are for regular consumers, and the iPhone 17 Pros are meant for creative professionals, camera people. As Apple is focusing more on the cameras on the Pros than what people buy them for is really good battery life and really good screens, which the screen is really good, but the battery life also got better now, I guess. Apple has also introduced ProRes RAW for the first time, which is great. Also made it so that you can use Genlock now, which is great for professionals, but consumers are never gonna use it, I think. The design of the iPhone 17 Pro looks pretty similar, but has a lot of differences. Like the back is now 2 different materials: metal at the top and glass in the bottom, where wireless charging and MagSafe is. There's a small window cut out with glass so that you can use wireless chargers. Wireless charging has also got really better because it now supports Qi 2.2, which means you can get 25 watts of wireless charging, which is really fast. Speaking of charging, wire charging has also seen a really good improvement this year, as Apple is now giving all new iPhones fast charging, up to 40 watts I think, which means you can go from 0 to 50% in around 20 minutes, which is really fast and really convenient. The base storage of the iPhone 17 Pro has been doubled to 256 gigs, and it starts at $1099. What Apple basically did is remove the base 128 gig iPhone 17 Pro, and for the first time ever you can get 2 terabytes on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is a whopping $2,000, which is a lot of money. Finally, let's get to the real star of today's event: iPhone 17 Air. iPhone Air is Apple's thinnest iPhone ever at 5.6 millimeters thin, which is really thin. You'd have to hold it to get an understanding of how thin this iPhone is. It just really does make you go, aww, which is what the entire name is about. To make the iPhone this thin, Apple had to make a lot of compromises, especially battery, and I'll get to that in just a bit. The screen on iPhone 17 Air is pretty much the same as the iPhone 17, but it's 6.5 inches, which is slightly bigger, I guess. At the rear, it has the same ceramic shield coated back glass as iPhone 17. And from now on out, there are a lot of compromises that I'll get into. iPhone Air only comes with one camera, a 48 megapixel wide-angle camera, which is good in itself, but there is no ultra-wide, no telephoto, only one camera. Apple says it's a fusion camera, but what they actually mean by fusion is there are two lenses, one at normal and the other at 2 times digital zoom. How Apple was able to make the iPhone 17 Air so thin is by shoving every single component of the iPhone into the camera plateau, which makes the bottom half of the iPhone reserved only for the battery. But still, the battery is not that big and battery life is also not that great. I am telling you right now that the battery is not gonna be great. The sides are made from polished titanium, which is surprising as Apple is using all aluminum on all iPhone 17 and 17 Pro models, but still sticking on to titanium. The other big caveat is there's only one speaker, that's the earpiece. No bottom firing speaker whatsoever. Apple, in anticipation of the poor battery life, made a new MagSafe battery pack that only works on the iPhone Air model. It sticks to the back of the iPhone Air with MagSafe and gives it all-day battery life, as Apple says. You'll have to wait for the reviews to find that out, but I'm sure that the iPhone's battery is not gonna be really good at all. Judging by the thickness of this phone, I am saying 4 to 6 hours of screen on time, which is good but not the best and not at all enough for this generation. This phone also uses the Apple A19 Pro chip, which makes me extra concerned. Yes, it's a powerful chip. Apple had to make a vapor chamber cooling system which dissipates the heat throughout the metal and makes the phone less hot. There ain't none of that in the iPhone Air, which makes me concerned that this phone is gonna get toasty real fast. It's available in 4 pastel colors, which are good. They kinda remind me of the iPhone 15 with its really light shade of colors. The iPhone 17 Air starts at $1,000, which is a lot for a poor at best battery phone. For just $100 more, you can get a way better phone with the iPhone 17 Pro. In my opinion, the iPhone Air is not at all worth it unless you're an enthusiast or an crazy Apple fanboy, not even a normal one, to waste your $1,000 on a really thin phone. You can get a way better phone for just $100 more with the iPhone 17 Pro, or still get a better all-rounder phone for $200 less that you can put towards AirPods Pro 3, which is gonna be a killer combo with the iPhone 17. So my conclusion on this Apple event is that iPhone 17 is a great value for money. It also applies to the AirPods Pro 3s. Unless you're upgrading from an Apple Watch Series 6 or older, the Apple Watch Series 11 is not at all worth it in my opinion. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 might be due to its satellite SOS connectivity, but that's a really niche case, and if you really need that, yeah, go for it. It's a really good watch. And the SE3 is really good for kids and people who are coming into the Apple ecosystem and trying it out for the first time. It's also a really good entry-level Apple Watch. The iPhone 17 Pros are an amazing upgrade this year, only for professionals. For consumers, it ain't a really big update. The star of the show, the iPhone Air. It's cool for the first few weeks or months, but then the battery life is really gonna come into effect when you start dropping down your battery capacity. And that's it. That was all that was announced at the September 9th Apple event.